In a cozy little village, nestled between rolling green hills, lived a kitten named Milo. He wasn't the biggest or the strongest kitten, but his heart was full of dreams. While other kittens chased butterflies, Milo would listen to the old stories of legendary feline heroes, imagining himself on a grand quest. The other kittens often laughed at him. "You, a hero? You're too small to even climb the big oak tree," they'd tease. But Milo's spirit was bigger than his size, and he held on to his dream, waiting for his moment to shine. One sunny afternoon, while chasing a grasshopper, Milo noticed something strange. A faint golden light was glowing on his front leg. He looked closer and saw a perfect shimmering paw-shaped mark. He'd never seen anything like it. He rushed to the village elders, his heart pounding. The wisest of the elders, Old Man Whiskers, looked at the mark and his eyes widened. "It's the paw of destiny," he whispered. "An ancient sign that appears only on a kitten chosen for a great purpose." Milo was terrified. A great purpose? For him? But a tiny spark of excitement flickered inside him. Maybe, just maybe, his dreams were about to come true. But his excitement soon turned to fear. A strange, dark fog began to seep into the village each night. It crept through the fields, making the crops wilt, and wrapped around the homes, causing a deep chill. Animals who wandered too far would get lost in its disorienting haze. The elders gathered everyone. They explained that the fog came from the Shadow Forest, a cursed place no one dared to enter, and the only thing that could stop it, according to the ancient legends, was the power held within the paw of destiny. All eyes turned to Milo. The little kitten, who once dreamed of adventure, was now the village's only hope. With a tiny backpack filled with a piece of cheese and a whole lot of courage, Milo said goodbye to his village. He stood at the edge of the Shadow Forest, its twisted trees and dark canopy looking like a giant monster ready to swallow him whole. Taking a deep breath, he stepped into the darkness. The air was heavy, and strange sounds echoed all around him. Just as fear began to creep in, a gentle light appeared. It was Luna, a wise firefly whose glow cut through the gloom. "Don't be afraid, little one," she buzzed softly. "I will be your guide. The source of this shadow lies at the very heart of the forest, and that's where we must go." Their journey was harder than Milo could have imagined. They came to a grove of whispering trees. Their leaves rustled with voices of doubt. "You're too small," they hissed. "You'll fail. Go back." Milo's paws froze, the words echoing the taunts from the village. He was about to turn back when Luna's light flared. "Remember why you're here, Milo. Think of your home." He shook his head, focusing on the image of his village, and pushed forward. Soon, their path was blocked by a wide, rushing river where the bridge had long since collapsed. The gap looked impossibly wide, but Milo saw a line of slippery stones barely breaking the surface. He wasn't strong, but he was small and nimble. He took a leap of faith, landing perfectly on the first stone, then the next, and the next. With each successful jump, his confidence grew. He wasn't just a small kitten anymore. He was a hero in training. Deeper in the forest, a low growl stopped them in their tracks. From the shadows emerged Fang, a magnificent wolf with eyes that glowed like amber. He stood, blocking their path, his size making Milo feel like a fluff of dust. Milo's fur stood on end, but he stood his ground. Fang wasn't hostile, just cautious. He was the ancient guardian of this forest. As he looked at the trembling kitten, his gaze fell upon the glowing mark. He'd heard the legends. "The paw of destiny," he rumbled, his voice like the shifting of ancient stones. "The forest is sick. If you carry the hope to heal it, I will not stop you. I will guide you." And so, the unlikely trio, a kitten, a firefly, and a wolf, ventured on. Finally, they reached a dark cave at the forest's center, pulsing with a sickly purple fog. This was it. the shadow heart. Inside, a dark swirling crystal, the shadow orb, floated in the air. As Milo approached, the orb reacted. Illusion swirled around him, preying on his deepest fears. He saw giant, shadowy monsters with glowing red eyes. He felt the cold bite of a blizzard, and he heard the laughter of the other kittens as he failed over and over. The weight of it all was too much. Milo collapsed, his spirit crushed, tears welling in his eyes. He was just a small kitten after all. Just as he was about to give up, Luna's voice cut through the despair. Milo, listen to me. Your destiny is not in the mark on your paw. It is in your heart. The courage you've shown, the kindness you possess. That is your true power. Her words resonated within him. He looked at Fang, who gave him a silent nod of encouragement. Milo stood up, his fear replaced by a new resolve. He wasn't fighting because of a mark. He was fighting for his friends and his home. He walked straight to the orb, ignoring the terrifying illusions, and placed his small paw directly on it. The paw of destiny erupted in a blinding, warm light, a pure energy that shot from Milo's heart, through his paw, and into the orb. With a final deafening crack, the shadow orb shattered into a million pieces of dust, and the dark fog began to vanish like a bad dream. Milo returned to the village, not alone, but with his loyal friends, Luna and Fang, by his side. As they emerged from the now peaceful forest, the sun was shining brightly. The crops were already perking up, and the air was fresh and clean. The villagers cheered, running to greet their hero. The same kittens who had once teased him now looked at him with awe and respect. Milo wasn't just Milo the small kitten anymore. He was Milo, the savior of the village. Looking at his friends and his joyful village, Milo finally understood. Heroes weren't born big and strong. They became heroes by facing their fears and never giving up. He learned that the greatest power of all wasn't some magical mark, but the simple courage to believe in yourself, no matter how small you are. Because true destiny belongs to those who dare to write their own story. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to follow for more tales of courage. The end.